God has a perfect will for your life, and God has a perfect timing for the execution of His will in your life. And if either of those two things are off, the will of God or the timing of God is off in your life and your prayers, you're going to have to wait to get your prayers answered. That's why Jesus taught us this way to pray in Matthew 6, 9, and 10. This then is how you should pray. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come. Your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Let me tell you a story in Acts chapter 16, then we'll read some verses in just a moment. Paul the apostle had to learn this lesson. This great man of God, Paul, as he's going out preaching the gospel, there was a time that as he's turning up and heading into some new territory, he decided that he wanted to go toward the east and preach the gospel toward the east. He'd come out of Damascus, Syria, and all that portion of the world and was heading into the northern section. He wanted to turn east to preach the gospel. But every time he tried to turn east to preach the gospel, there was a resistance. He couldn't get there. He couldn't do it. There was doors were closed, and the Spirit was compelling him not to do that until he made a turn and went in the other direction. Let me read for you in Acts chapter 16, verses 6 through 8. Paul and his companions traveled throughout the region of Phrygia and Galatia, having been kept by the Holy Spirit. Notice this, kept by the Holy Spirit from preaching the word in the province of Asia. When they came to the border of Mysia, and they tried to enter Bithynia, but the Spirit of Jesus would not allow them to, so they passed by Mysia and went down to Troas. Here's what I want you to see. Paul had to be directed. He was trying to get God to do something, and God said, that's not what I want to do, okay? You're trying to go east. I want you to go west. Have you ever been going east when God wanted you to go west? Okay. You ever been going south when God wanted you to go north, okay? And there are times in life you're trying to push away, trying to make something happen, and God keeps closing the doors and closing the doors. Finally, he said, look, that's not what I want. The Spirit of Jesus wouldn't allow them to go there. And then Paul receives a vision of a man from Macedonia saying, come over here and help us. And he has the Macedonian vision, the Macedonian call, and he heads over to Macedonia and Philippi and preaches the gospel there. And doors for the gospel open up into Europe, all because he was redirected by the Spirit. Sometimes your prayers aren't answered because you're not praying in accordance with God's will, and you haven't lined up with God's timing. And so there are reasons why prayers are delayed, why we don't get the answers.